My dear friends, all of you are having a humorist in you. It's a matter of discovering that. How can you do that? It's a matter of discovering the humorist in you. Some people think, oh, I don't have that trait. I'm not a humorist. I don't have that quality in me. So my dear friends, you can do that. You can discover your humorist. What you should do? Loosen up. Humor is a skill. Skill can be developed. Sigmund Freud noticed that humor, like dreams, we see dreams in the night, like dreams, can be related to unconscious content. We see dreams in the night. Those are not conscious, unconscious dreams. Likewise, humor is also, you should build up that trait within you. This I learned through this experience. So I want to share this. How you can do that? Don't be serious. There are some phrases like owls, right? Bakamuna basa. You have to get rid of that. I'll give you some exercises for that, right? Then relax yourself. Don't be stiff. Some people who have done bodybuilding, they're just like this. But you have to relax yourself. I have a nice body, no? It's a matter of relaxing yourself. I'll give you some exercises now, right? These are life-changing exercises. Some may have seen those exercises, but I would like to share. Wherever I go, I used to share these exercises. This will help you to improve the blood flow to your facial muscles, lips, your diaphragm area and breathing area. This will enhance your body language, plus this will eradicate your nervousness, maybe fear of public speaking, and also you'll have a better voice. Take a deep breath in. Hold on. Slowly breathe out from your mouth. So simple exercise. Start from here, right? Right? Massage. Give a small massage. Don't strangle your neck. If you want, you can strangle the other person's neck, right? Then come up like this. Try this, right? Then bend. When you bend, just like you drop yourself down. Hang your hands like this. Be careful, right? Hang your hands like this. Just relax. Don't stiff yourself, right? Right. What is the best exercise for your lips? Get it. I'm getting, no, it's not that, right? I'm getting closer to Tarka. Put your lips out, right?
On the lips, right?
Yep. You can get closer to your partner, right? Samin is already getting a little closer to, no problem, right? Okay. Shall we do? In fact, you can do like this. Very easy. To have some depth in your voice, it's kind of opening your vocal cords. Sometimes, if the vocal cords are tightened, your voice is just like cramped down. So it's a matter of doing these sound exercises. First, you need to take a deep breath in and make sure the voice is coming from your tummy area. To, hi, to, ho, ti. To, ho, ti, to, ho, ti, to, ho, ti. Shall you do? To, ho, ti, to, ho, ti, to, ho, ti, to, ho, ti, to, ho, ti. Right. Be careful, gents. I have a lot of problems, so I used to do this exercise at home. People thought I'm having a fight with my wife. To, ti, to, ti, to, ti. Unfortunate situation, but I have to do. I used to do this exercise in the beach. So there's an operatic phrase I used to do. I used to go to the beach and do. This is actually, I do this. There were incidents. Sometimes people come and ask, are you a pastor? Because these sounds like, chanting and all. So one day I was doing this. La don me muile ve fumelo yento mutare chante henit frinciere. I felt something was cluttering behind me. When I look back, there were a whole heap of fishermen. They're also doing the same thing. They thought I was a pastor, belongs to a Christian denomination. They thought I was praying for a harvest. Because when I go to the beach, I used to do like this because to relax, You get all this sea breeze into your body, so I'm doing like this. So they thought like that. And ridiculing yourself is very important. I can remember, I always take things to ridicule myself. I use my figure. So I just give you a brief 1-2 lines about the speech I made called the figure out. Sudat Fernando, figure out. So the contest master calling me Sudat Fernando, figure out. Figure out Sudat Fernando. So I'm ridiculing myself. So I can remember I started that speech like this. 30 years ago, I can remember what my dad told me. Son, when you grow up, try to become a prominent figure in the society. Hasn't my figure become prominent? Speech goes on like that. So you can always ridicule yourself, my dear friends. This is the first thing that you should think of. When you listen to speeches, when you have information, stimulate mind. Emotion, stimulate heart. Humor, stimulate what? Exactly. Entire body. My dear friends, humor is an important trait that you should inculcate, you should develop. Always come out with a point, a message. Even if you are delivering a humorous speech, some say no need of a message, but I always say have a point, have a message. That gives some value to your speech. And story. You can have one story or some stories together connecting under one topic. An exaggeration. So I would like to deliver a speech. I really like this speech because it's always in my memory. I don't have to practice. The name of the drama was The Lion. The drama teacher told me, Sudat, you'll be playing a vital role in the drama. Wow, that's great, ma'am. Since my childhood, I had a lion heart. But you'll be playing a role of a donkey. Donkey? Yes, I don't need to put an extra effort to train you for that role. It's naturally within you. Within me? Oh, come on, teacher. So that don't worry. Even though donkey is a brainless animal, it could be a symbol of victory for you one day. My dear friends, I was branded as a fool in the school. But about 3 years I became the most outstanding student of the school. Because most of the time, I was standing outside the classroom for not doing homework. The principal summoned my parents to the school and said, Mr. Fernando, your son is always late to school and scored very low marks in the term test. It seems he's not using his brain at all. My father looked at me with anger and said, hey, donkey, you better explain the principal. Then I started explaining. Principal, sir, can you remember that day you said to become successful, you need to walk the extra mile and think differently? I was so pumped up with those inspirational words and started working on it. As a result, I found an additional path, sir, where it is 1 mile more than the usual distance from my home to school. Every day I came late to school, sir, as a result of walking that extra mile. As you jolly well know, so I am a very obedient student of you. That is why I followed your rule number 1, extra mile. I knew that itself is not sufficient to become a successful man. Therefore, I decided to follow your rule number 2 as well, think differently. When the term tests were on, all my colleagues studied before the exam. thinking differently, I studied after the exam. Friends, when I grew up, I really wanted to come out of the donkey syndrome. Unfortunately, there was no one at home to help me because of the same genetical background. On the first day of my first job, the chairman was addressing the staff. And he said a very powerful exhortation. If you really get into my shoes, you will realize the gravity of running a business. At the conclusion of the speech, I just jumped and asked, "Excuse me, sir, can I borrow your pair of shoes for a day?" All staff members were stunned. Did I say anything foolish? Staff members were stunned. Then chairman spoke. "Well done, young man. We need jokers like you at the office to keep our lives moving. Well done, keep it up." Everybody started applauding. No one knew my background. Since then, I became a humorist among the colleagues in my office. Friends, don't let your weakness dominate you. Always make use of it as an inspiration of victory. President Barack Obama won 2 presidential elections with this symbol. This is his party symbol. Literally, this is his party symbol. Domestic cars or donkey. Who knows, the same symbol will bring victory to Siddharth Fernando. Thank you. When you analyze the most successful leaders in this world, they had sense of humor. Some of the world-recognized politicians, they had sense of humor, but not ours. Exactly. We have jokers. Exactly, the precise word. Right? What do you mean by big formula? A passion. What do you mean by passion? A strong enthusiasm or burning desire. My dear friends, you need to have a strong enthusiasm or a burning desire, a passion, if you really want to discover your humorist. Do that loosening up things first, but you need to have a strong desire, passion. The second thing is improvisation. What do you mean by improvisation? This is the most important aspect that you should develop. Performance greatest creative act. It's the creative part of finding humor. When you come across situations, a person, scenery, or go home, sit back, relax, and contemplate. You find situations, sceneries, people. How many of you have a humor file with you? A notebook? Great, great. One person has. Do you have a humor book? My dear friends, super. You need to have a note of the incident that you come across. I used to have a humor file with me. So when you have a humor file, it's a matter of, when you develop a story, it's a matter of going home, relaxing yourself. You can have a cup of tea or coffee and contemplate. Think. You can create beautiful stories out of it. If you have the passion, if you contemplate, you can prepare humor out of that. Let's see the commitment. PIC, the commitment. Very important to prepare an effective humorous speech. You can write, you can cut it down, again write. Sometimes you may have to write about 50, 100 times to get the correct speech. And to practice hard. When you speak to world champion speakers, they have practiced. They did a lot of practices. When you practice, what will happen? It will naturally come through you, not artificial. Then you can improvise things. Halfway through, if you want, you can improvise things. Am I correct? You can improvise things, add things, and make it more authentic, which is very important. So more tips. Rehearse, very important. Adhere to basics of the CC manual. Don't laugh at your own story. Another important thing, my dear friends. Some of them are laughing at their own story. I have witnessed one of the speeches, super speech. But he's breaking the punchline and he's also laughing okay, with the audience. Don't do that. Don't tell that humor is coming. Be confident even your humor misses. Another very important aspect. Even if you miss your humor, be confident. Just bet on. You are the only one who knows that there's humor in that. If you miss that, don't worry. For that, you have to practice. Avoid vulgar language, racial and religious issues. We always say that. Use props if necessary. Very important if necessary. My prop, did you think that my prop is applicable? Yes. I can remember I used a guitar. In 2012, in Mysore, I used a guitar for a speech. It's not a humorous speech, it's for an international speech. Even Dhananjay was there. I had the privilege of competing with him. Then I used the guitar to show some certain things. After the speech, a beautiful Indian girl came and said, "You played the guitar really well." Then another Indian girl came and asked, "Are you playing for a band?" No one commented about the speech. So obviously I lost that contest. So that is obvious. So don't get carried away with props. You have to be very careful when you use the props. Have a mentor, very important. I'll tell you the importance of mentor when I conclude my speech. Because I had a mentor called DTM Arjuna Jayadarshana. Most of you must be knowing him. Fantastic mentor. When I compete especially in India, I realized I need some Indian blend as well. So I got hold of a mentor called, some super humorist called Jayan Narayan. So he gave me some advice. I'll show you later. Make sure the body language and vocal variety. I'm not going to explain in this because you know the body language. Always, it's very important, my dear friends. Do those exercises to relax your muscles. I'll just explain you one phrase where the Indian mentor told me. So I was delivering a speech about a pant. This is an actual incident where some years back a person came and asked for my pants when I was in Bantramura town. He was in a desperate situation. He had to go to an interview. Next day morning, he said, then this was around 6:30. He asked my pant. So there were two friends of mine. He called me to a side. "Sir, can I borrow your pants for a day? I'll return it for you. I'm having an interview." So I thought he was trying to play funny with me, but I realized he has a problem. So he was a bit of a stocky fellow. He thought my pant is correct, so your pant is perfectly matching me. So that is a true incident, happened to me. So that was in my humor book. So I prepared a beautiful story out of that. Oh, I can't remember the topic of that speech. So in 2010, I delivered that. I won the division. I went to district. I won the semi-finals. I became second in the semi-final. Then I did perform in the finals, but I didn't get through the finals. And the same speech I delivered in 2016 in Vello. I think 2016 we had in Vello, I suppose. So I'll just tell you what he has told me. So he watched my speech. He listened to my speech and he watched. I went to India and he watched it. He said, "Sudat, you need to do some body language. Bring some body language and vocal variety." So he made one change. I'll tell you the phrase. In the speech, I gave my pant, right? Where at that time he was, not literally gave, but in the speech I gave my pant. Then I was driving my car without pant, right? So the air condition is now cool air touches everywhere. So just imagine driving a vehicle without a pant, right? So then the traffic light was there. I was enjoying the cool air. I missed the traffic lights. So the story goes like that. So the cop stopped me. So in the original speech, it was like this. So I was enjoying and driving. "Hey, park your vehicles, bring your license and come." "Sir, excuse me, Inspector, can you please come over here?" "What?" Then he came. I can't remember the speech properly. He came then. "Aha, Sergeant, come over here. I think we found a person running out of a place of mischief. In a hurry, he lost his pant. So that was the part that I had. He said, no, so that it's not going to work. Give some body language, non-verbal thing. So it's typical Indian stuff, right? I was driving. Hey. Hey. Then the inspector came. Hey. Aha, Sergeant. Come over here. I think we found a double XL case, double XL. No, sir, it's triple XL, triple XL. So that's how the non-verbal part of it. So he said, and it really worked really well, I mean, in India. Then the Indian mentor said, Sudat, vocal variety is very important. There's an incident, so I'll just tell that incident. Then the cops were taking me to the police without my pants, and they were interrogating. Say around 12 midnight, I'm getting a call from my wife. Said, Sudat, where are you? And it goes like that. Sudat, where are you? Honey, I'm with cops without my pants. Then he was annoyed. Hey, tell me, who is she? Honey, before that, what? Honey, you know, my dad was talking about good deeds, good traits and all. Tell me, who is she? Honey, no, it's not a she, it's a he. The cop is interrogating me, it's a he. What? I never thought that you have gone down to such a level. That was the usual way I had. But he said, no, this is not going to work. Do it like this. First, you should show the authoritative voice of your wife, especially coming 12 midnight. How about you? Husband must be having experience, Taraka, right? I don't know. 12 midnight. Wives, married ladies are here. So what kind of reaction? 12 midnight, the husband is not there. Authoritative. Then you should show the destructive voice and the emotionally downhearted voice in that part, because he was telling, Uncle, honey, it's a he. No woman would like to have a he thing, no? For a husband to fall into that level. So you should show the contrast. So I will show the contrast, what he has advised me. Sudat, it's 12 midnight. Where are you? Honey, I got caught to cops without my pants. What? Honey, can you remember the good deeds my dad told me? Tell me, who is she? Honey, it's not a she, it's a he. What? I never thought that you have gone down to such a level. So that's the contrast. Earlier, authoritative voice and very downhearted voice. So my dear friends, very important, the vocal variety. So I got that from my Indian mentor. So when you work on these things, the body language and vocal variety is very important. So thank you very much. If you really apply what I have told you, you can beat even Usain Bolt, right?